One more time, old friend.
It sucks being on YouTube when nobody watches your content.
Preacher man says it's the end of time, and the Mississippi River, she's going dry.
They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all. Man. You know?
Catch catfish from dusk till dawn.
I lift weights. Nobody gives a shit.
You sure you're ready for this?
I'll do my best.
Your best. Losers always whine about their best.
You can forget about having a real life as a YouTuber.
Oh, Peter. What's happening? Listen.
You can even generate a few pennies, and all of your time will be spent thinking how you can improve, writing scripts, consulting your books, listening to copyright-free music, discussing the topics with the people closest to you, watching movies or series for things that are useful, or might become so in the future, several week-long editing projects of 10-hour days, 7 days a week, rewatching your clips tirelessly to search for mistakes, points of interest, improvements, or possible words that might piss someone
You
off.
sell your service to the highest bidder, won't you, you stinking maggot?
Doubting your own words out of fear that they will downvote your already non-existent like count. Have you ever considered any real freedoms?
Freedoms in the opinion of others, even the opinions of yourself.
The only time you will be able to see your wife, girlfriend, or parents is when you're in the kitchen to grab a drink or have a meal.
Well, cast that leg up and welcome to the family.
When you spend a lot of time on YouTube, one of the first things you will notice is that channels with a very outspoken view on something tend to attract a following.
The son of a bitch. He wouldn't know God if he crawled up his pant leg and bit him on the pecker.
And though some of these channels also face massive opposition, it's very rarely reflected in the form of massive downvotes on the uploaded content or genuine discussions of any kind in the comment section.
As we all know, I do literally think that anime is demonic, and every single person who has ever watched it has become possessed by the devil. Literally, that's what I think.
Release that which is negative. From strength, learn gentleness. Through gentleness, strength will prevail.
Instead, most of the comments you will read are lavish praises, as if they are the only ones who are standing up for what is right. Instead of challenging ourselves by keeping an open mind, we prefer to be among like-minded people. The tribal mind, it seems, much like ancient times, is still very much present in everyday life, and the us versus them mentality has never been more clear, and its presence has never been more imminent.
אני לא הייתי ער לעוצמת השסע והשנאה, לפערים שיש בינינו.
This is not a left or a right problem. It's a human problem. For example, how often do we genuinely look at a situation from the position of someone else? Is this not wisdom?
Just try your best. I don't want you and my dad to be replaced and meanies again. I want you and my dad to be placed as settled and be friends. I'm not trying to be mean. I just want everyone to be friends. And if I can be nice, I think all of us can be nice too. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm trying to do my best in my heart. Nothing else than that.
Under the sky, under the heaven, man, there is but one family.
How many of us try to consider every angle, every reasoning, every justification, and delve to the truth of the matter, parts of it anyway, from all sides? Channels like mine that hopefully challenge you to ask questions about others, sure, but more importantly about yourself. These are the channels that are ignored. Why ask a question when you can simply demand a solution? Why reflect on anything when you can just lay the blame at someone else? Why bother to pick up a book when you have countless channels giving you the answers?
Books. What are books?
This kind of thinking is the death of reason. Instead, please allow me to share something from my favorite book.
Here we are.
It is not good to settle into a set of opinions. It is a mistake to put forth effort and obtain some understanding and then stop at that. Do not rely on following the degree of understanding that you have discovered, but simply think, this is not enough. And you should study, setting your mind to work without putting things off. Within this is the way.
This is the way.
Most of the time, though, it seems we prefer someone who tells it like it is.
Everyone fights, no one quits.
Without actually taking into consideration everything that it implies, or the consequences it might have on other people.
And society fears real men because a real man lives his life for himself and without regrets. MGTOWs feel that society is keeping us unhappy and unsatisfied so that we will basically be more productive. But the truth is,
You asshole! Why are you still alive? Just die!
The point isn't whether we agree or disagree with someone. It's the fact that most people are utterly convinced that they are the only ones who are on the side of righteousness and the truth.
That's vanity. Vanity. Definitely my favorite sin.
And everyone else, well, they must be wrong, short-sighted, uneducated, or simply stupid.
Holy motherfucker!
Often enough, we also consider them dangerous.
Such a waste.
quotes. Some will even try to remember them and allow the words to become a part of them. The fact remains, every year, the amount of time we spend reading declines. Every year, no exceptions. And this will only become worse and worse and worse. Instead of becoming wise, we become fixed in a way of thinking.
45. 245.
Yes. Do you know what country the Great Wall of China is in?
Country?
Yeah. If you had to guess.
Japanese?
Yes. Do you know what country the Panama Canal is in?
No.
If you had to guess, like, what do you think it sounds like it's in? Guess a country.
Europe?
Do you know who fought in the Civil War?
Who fought in the Civil War? The Nazis versus Germany. No. Yes. No. I'm gonna say yes, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes. How many Kardashian sisters can you name?
Kendall Jenner, Kylie Jenner, Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, Kourtney Kardashian. Is that all? That's all.
Yeah, that's all of them for sure.
Smart.
Yeah, dude, you're a genius.
Phones are beginning to replace books. Podcasts are replacing teachers.
If you or I made any disparaging comments in public or anything about someone's gender, someone's sexual orientation, skin color, whatever, we get fired.
An IE will become your library. Never-ending cycle of news, events, protests, outrages, and controversy to keep us entertained. It never ends.
Be a poor man.
That's getting out into the world. That's graduation. See, now you're an adult. But then the first thing is you get into a sales meeting where they say is make that quota. And if you do, they're going to give you a higher quota. And that thing is at the end of the line, it's there, and all the advertisements say, well, by the time you earn this and get that, you'll be able to have the right kind of car, the right kind of speedboat, the right kind of track lot, the right kind of clothes and everything, the right kind of drinks. And you'll be there. And finally, you work along at this, you're earnest, and about the year 45, you end up as vice president of the company. Say, I've arrived. I'm there. But I feel vaguely cheated because I feel just the same as I always felt. I'm there, but I haven't caught up with that thing I was always promised. And suddenly an insurance man comes around and says, wait a minute, you're going to retire at 65. We got a program for you. so that you'll be just right. When you're 65, you'll be able to drop all this business and do what you really want to do. That time you're not interested.
It's called the American Dream because you have to be asleep to believe it.
And whether you look on your phone a lot or a little, the power it holds over people is undeniable.
Oh, you think it's funny, bitch?
The only wealth in this world is children. More than all the money, power on earth.
And after I'm done, I give a huge stack, like this thick, I'm not even kidding because I have a lot of kids, papers to the assistant, and they're looking through it, and they say, well, can you just write mom on this line? And I say, oh, I'm non-binary. They look at me like... and then say, well, can you just write mom on the paper? And I said, I'm non-binary. I don't use mom. I'm a parent. That's what I call myself.
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
A little bit? You should be. Okay, now you took your card already? Yeah, you did. On your knees. Kiss my feet. Say Goddess Via owns me.
Goddess Via.
Okay, that's enough. Hand it to me. Good, it's mine. You took your card. Now, have more for me Friday, okay?
Yes, Goddess.
I will see you then. One more. Fine. No, not my sock. Okay, that's enough. Put it back on. Fix it. Okay, good.
Do you want to step on?
Get down. I'm gonna walk over you. Lay down. Okay, goodbye.
I feel like it tones down the masculinity a little bit, which we all need these days.
Never, never, never. You will not only lose your mind, you lose your soul.
The things you look at on your phone receive a place in your mind, but not these men. Why do we substitute treasure for trash? Every person who has elevated him or herself will tell you there are no shortcuts in anything you might deem worthy of pursuing. Whatever you decide to do, you must do it wholeheartedly and with strenuous effort all the days of your life.
Future of education is here.
No.
And it is called ChatGPT. This powerful language model is going to completely change the way we learn.
Oh, hell no!
It is already causing complete chaos in the educational system. With ChatGPT, you can say goodbye to spending countless hours reading, researching.
Father, forgive them. They know not what they do.
学問しれば自分の頭で物を考えることができるようになる。考える力がつく。この先世の中どう変わっても考える力を持っていれば何とかして生きていくことができる。これは男っ子も女っ子も同じことだ。わかるか？
はい。
ほれ、所読続けれ。
ChatGPT, you can say goodbye to spending countless hours reading, researching, and even spending a ludicrous amount of money on expensive tutors because AI is here. ChatGPT, you can say goodbye to spending countless hours reading, researching.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Future of education is here.
I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I've spent my youth without internet.
Tonight, you have learned the final and greatest truth. That ultimate mastery comes not of the body, but of the mind.
You fight well in the old style.
I've seen the internet begin from a limitless source of open information, music, and movies.
Every idea man has ever had about the universe up for grabs. Biodigital jazz, man.
But in the end,
we fucked it all up.
If you are white in America, you are racist.
It should have been so sweet, too. But it turned out to be the last time that street guys like us were ever given anything that fucking valuable again.
Today is a source of influence of which few people are exempt.
Really? Took me like an hour to come up with that.
We often selectively watch only those whom we agree with and discard the rest.
You need to find a reason why it's important to learn the material, because that's what you can fall back on whenever you're feeling demotivated. We all have bad days. We're human. Nobody is perfect. So if you wake up tomorrow and you know you have to study and you don't want to, you need to be able to tell yourself something that is going to get you motivated, something that is going to get you to study. And that's where that internal reason, that internal desire for learning has to come from. It has to come from within you.
In mere decades, only a select few will be able to tell the difference of how things used to be and where we are now. Until they too will die, and nobody will be able to tell the difference anymore. Most people don't even care. Consuming content will become the norm for everyone. Reading about the men or women of old with an equal amount of self-reflection is already a thing of the past.
It's all going down the drain. Our country's going to hell in a handbasket. We haven't got the country we had when I was raised. Not at all. Nobody will have the fun I had. Nobody will have the opportunity I had.
The only person who can change this is you. You.
Oxley?
My advice, and don't do it for me, but please do it for yourself. Choose and buy any book from a person that you think has value. Read from this book, roughly 15 minutes at a time, max 30 minutes, a few days a week. The goal from this is to keep reading until you find something that speaks to you. Generally, if this does not happen within 2 pages, choose another book. Most importantly, and this is key, it's the one thing nobody tells you, and is in fact by far the most important aspect of reading. Write down every single sentence that you find interesting on a separate hardcover notebook.
Don't give up, just keep in there, just keep fighting. Be bold, and mighty forces will come to your aid. And that sustained me through my life.
Write calmly and clearly, and in a way that ensures everyone can read it.
You know, they used to call him the tax man for a while.
It doesn't matter how many pages you finished. This is not a race, and there is no end destination. Philosophy isn't something you finish. It's not a test, and it's not about the accumulation of knowledge. The purpose of philosophy is to protect you from traps most people seem to be falling in.
Read Marcus Aurelius. Of each particular thing, ask, what is it in itself? What is its nature?
Someone may say, what help can philosophy be to me if there is such a thing as fate? What help can philosophy be if God controls all? What help can it be if all is governed by chance? Or in our case, the government? Whichever is true, even if all of them are true, we still need to practice philosophy. Whether we are caught in the grasp of an inexorable law of fate, whether it is God who as Lord of the universe has ordered all things, or whether the affairs of mankind are tossed and buffeted haphazardly by chance, it is philosophy that has the duty of protecting us. Whether we are carried along and meshed in a train of fated happenings, or whether we are at the mercy of the sudden and unforeseeable. Whenever you feel like it afterwards, grab your notebook and look at the words you wrote down. After a while, the things you wrote down and found interesting will find a lasting place in your mind and memory, and you will instinctively begin to think about the things you wrote down when you least expect it, and they will become a reflex. I have done this for the past 20 years, so I can make you a solemn vow. After the first book, you will have changed it. After the second book, you will place a far greater value on your books than any amount of money. And you will begin to hear their call.
For this reason, although one would like to change today's world back to the spirit of 100 years or more ago, it cannot be done. Thus, it is important to make the best out of every generation.
Writing is a weapon, and is more powerful than a fist can ever be.
After the third book, you will realize why reading is fundamental and essential in every life, regardless of who we are.
Or where we come from.
You will begin to lament those who spend their days glued to a phone, watching nonsense that contributes nothing to no one and keep you from finding happiness. Why does it suck to be a YouTuber? Because I'm perpetuating the very thing I think humanity needs to take a step back from. After all, this isn't the end.
But you can see it from here.
Shut up, Tasty. I'm the one that turned you on to the game when you were number little jailhouse tramp. Ouch. Now look at these times, they come and they go. And if you live long enough, you'll be around to see them come again. But what we need to do is we need to collective aside.
Nou, ik denk dat frustratie de motor is van creativiteit. Ik denk als je volmaakt gelukkig bent, dan hou je het voor gezien. Dan is het hier en nu voldoende. En juist die frustratie doet je geen genoegen nemen met het hier en nu. En daar komen dan boeken, films, beeldhouwwerken,
en machtshonger,
schilderijen. Ja, machtshonger komt daaruit voort.
Zij ben je gewoon een verloren politiek talent.
Zo zou ik me niet willen definiëren. Ik zou dat een te smalle duiding van mijn persoonlijkheid vinden.